bring the game up for everybody. Alright. So again, if anyone had missed, this is going to be game 2 of this best of 3 ace match. Again, I'm Laser, in case anyone's just tuning in, and with me is Gwyn. What up?
Hello, hello.
Alright, so again, cross positions here. Another, obviously, ZVP. Mkengyn up 1-0. Pretty curious to see what happens. I know a lot of times in these best of 3s, when you're up 1-0, you got that cushion, you do a little off-the-wall, ballsy kind of stuff. So we'll have to see what Mkengyn does. Inka, obviously, just going over here to put this pylon like most Protoss, wall off over here, and take this basically free expansion.
Looks like, yeah, definitely is going to go for the fast expand there. Scouting out. Is he going to scout cross map first? No, he is scouting toward the upper left-hand position. Not going to find his opponent there. Probably going to have to loop on down. I'm wondering if we're going to see hatch first on this map. I mean, it's such a risk. It's so easy for Protoss to just throw down 3 pylons and a cannon, block you into your main, and then you just kind of rage quit. But you know, hopefully that's not what we're going to see out of Mkengyn, opting to get that gas and then pool a very safe opening, or even just pool and then hatch.
Yeah, a lot of opportunities. We'll have to see what he does. I mean, again, Inka obviously scouted left for that, you know, standard Moon 6 pool on this map. But hatch first. So yeah, the hatch first. Have to see, you know, if he goes for that cannon strategy like we were talking.
Yeah, this,
but I don't think so.
This definitely could be, you know, a, you know, a potent opening. That Forge about to finish, but that probe could easily get over there, throw down those pylons. Looks like he is going for that opening there. And I mean, without a spawning pool, well, look, patrolling the drone at the entrance gonna make that a little bit proof to that. But you know, still, probe faking him out, He is forced to pull another drone.
He does have a lot of minerals, so maybe he's thinking about it. He was at 400, now went for the Nexus. Yeah. So he was pulling up for the Nexus. He could have done, you know, a couple pylons for the cannons, but opted not to. He's going to expand, like I said. This is basically a free expansion for Protoss on this map. And then pool. No gas. So that's basically just to get his queens. Standard openings. I mean, we're going to have standard game, which is cool, because usually 1-0 you see some cheesy crap that either wins and the other guy rages. Even though Inka kind of rages in the first game without saying GG.
Yeah, no GG there. We could still see, you know, some like a roachling all in, or maybe like a, you know, a 7-gate, or even some really fast, you know, tech with probe cuts, which I guess technically would be considered a little bit cheap. You see the cannon finally going down. I mean, with an expansion first like that, Protoss is very safe to just go, you know, pylon Nexus even, but we saw pylon Forge Nexus and then gateway and then cannon. You know, so if for instance we had seen a cancel on that hatch, maybe a bunch of lings get pumped, might have been able to get in and do some damage, but you know, overall a safe opening out of Inka, going ahead and mainering those probes now.
I'm actually kind of surprised he even dropped this cannon as early as he did, considering he scouted and saw that he went hatch first before pool and everything. Kind of, I don't know, it's kind of weird. I feel like maybe he could have even put this gateway, like where Cybernetics Core is now, he could have moved it over a little bit and dropped a gateway as a block so that this drone that got in couldn't get in. And then when this gateway over here that's producing the Zealot now finished, he can cancel the second one, then drop the Cybernetics. You know, it's just, I don't know, I feel like the cannon was not needed when you saw that hatch first, but you know, see what's up.
We see a macro hatch going down in the top of the main for Zerg, scouted of course by this probe. You know, when you don't have ling speed, your lings not quite as fast as probes. They can get in and see that did not successfully block with the queen. So we might see some type of roach ling all in out of Mkengyn. But time will tell, as we don't see a roach warden yet, and he's just very heavily droning 6 in production at the moment.
Yeah, I had also heard that speed upgrade gives you speed. I had heard that one. But I like the placement of this macro hatch, by the way. It's going to connect the creep between these two. Should almost get it completely. Yep, he might need one creep tumor over here in between the natural and like where the 3 overlords are floating. But outside of that, he should be pretty good. So I like that. If you know, if you're going to choose to go macro hatch, no point in putting it right in the natural, like near this ramp where it's exposed. It's good placement over there to connect that creep, make it so the queens can get around if there's any type of quick void ray play or anything. Especially since you know the Protoss has 2 bases, he can get a lot of gas a lot quicker in the early game, and void rays could be a threat, phoenixes could be a threat, so I like that. I really like that placement, I like that play. But I'm really actually, I want to see what Inka.
Yeah, I was going to say, we do not look like we're going to see any airplay out of Inka. We just see gates in production, and that robo just finished. I really don't like the robo choice. I really feel like going for a forge fast expand and then transitioning into DTs for map control. You can still get them out around the 8-minute mark, or getting a Stargate and getting some void rays and some phoenixes, doing a little bit of queen and worker line harass. You can really dictate the pace of the game as a Protoss player doing that. But this robo, it's going to get him observers and observers.
Yeah, but you know what? I do like this play actually. Sometimes I feel like a really like biased commentator. Don't get me wrong. I want CheckSix to win every time. I mean, it's my team. But I feel like we're doing a lot of, oh, I don't like this play from Inka, but right now I do like this play from Inka because he's on, what is it, 5 gateways? He's got 5 gateways, and he's going to research Blink, right? And Blink is great for this map because he's got 2 base, he's going to get Blink Stalkers, he's going to get upgrades, and what he's going to be able to do is over here outside the natural, he can blink up to where the gas geyser is, or if you swing around to where the Protoss, like 4th would be, opposite of where the Zerg 4th would be, opposite of where the Zerglings are attacking the rocks now. He could blink up to where this macro hatch is with the use of the observer and do some damage and blink out. So he could do a lot of blink harassment. So I do like this play. It's not as easy as the Void Ray. You know, Void Ray is just swinging in from here and there. He's going to have to do a little more travel, but still could be very effective. And because for Protoss, all attack upgrades affect all units, you know, the Colossus, the Archon, the DT, all that type of stuff, getting these upgrades early still help him in the later game, and he is already going for +2 upgrades on these Blink Stalkers, so I really like that. I really do like that choice of play.
I mean, and this is almost just a like a blind counter to what it looks like Zerg is doing, going for that you know, the Spire. Mutalisks, you know, very effective harass units, but not as much when you've got Blink Stalkers hanging around. And you know, it looks like Inka chose that tech route before he scouted the Spire, but the Spire about to finish now, and Mkengyn doesn't know what's going on at all.
Yeah, the Stalker is just a pretty all-around solid unit for the Protoss. I mean, you can pretty much use them in almost all situations. Granted, they're not that great against like Mass Speedling, obviously. There are a lot of lings over here outside of what could be the Protoss 3rd. I do like how Mkengyn has his units spread out. If you see, he's got overlords in all areas, you know, to see where the next expansion is. He does have lings patrolling on the map. He has all 4 Xel'Naga, so good play over there. This Overseer is probably going to get scouted, or this Overlord will get scouted by this Observer. But all in all, pretty good. Creep spread, pretty good from Mkengyn, actually, connecting this natural now to this 3rd base, 4th hatch. So pretty standard stuff. I mean, again, we're 11.5 minutes in. This is where we made this comment in the last game. So both players doing pretty good. I would probably expect Inka to have another expansion up in the next 60 seconds to 1.5 minutes. But again, another 2 to 3 minutes, and I'm expecting some good, solid engagements until the game ends. You know, not any downtime. Here come the Mutas, by the way, into the natural, but 3 cannons and Blink Stalkers with that +2 upgrade almost done. Almost done, about 90%. So Muta's not going to be so effective.
Oh, and the Blink under the Muta's losing a couple of them. He needs to pull out with that. And look at this, the Zergling counterattack into the 3rd. That's
so what would you do? You're a Zerg player, right? What do you do from here on out?
What do I do from here on out? Well, I think at this point, you know, I'm kind of committed to this tech path that I'm on. I would probably cancel my +1 on the Mutas. I would throw down an Infestation Pit, and Speedling Infester is not a bad tactic at all to have. You can still use the Mutas to swoop in. I mean, there is this, there's a cannon going down now, but that Twilight Council and those 4 gates were completely unprotected. So you just gotta kind of poke around and find out. It look like we do see the Mutas swinging in there, but I'm not sure, seeing the Blink Stalkers, I'm not sure I would stay with the Muta tech path.
Yeah, actually I do like the path you said, Infestor Speedling. I do think that's a really good path to counter Blink Stalker. I mean, for Inka, at this point, he needs to just stay with what he's doing. It's working for him right now. He is eventually gonna... I mean, he doesn't have to, but I feel like you should always be working towards getting another type of unit. You know what I mean? Because like you said, it's so easy to counter when you only have one thing. You know, if he has, you know, just for argument's sake, if he had 200 food limit blink stalkers, like, okay, I get infestors, they can't blink, and then I surround with, you know, speed link. So he's got to work towards something else. I wouldn't be surprised to, you know, he's got air, he's got so much AA damage with these upgraded stalkers, which are halfway to weapons 3, that I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, he went like Colossus, because the corruptors wouldn't stand a chance at all.
No, not with that many blink stalkers. No, it looks like we do see the mutas continuing to try and poke around, and these speedling counterattacks at the same time. I like this play a lot, but it looks like he's going the other route that you can transition out of this, and this is to go Roach. And we do see, you know, him getting he has his infestation pit up, as well as you know, getting +1 attack and +2 carapace for his melee, as well as roach speed, and we do see a lot of roaches in production. So, you know, of course, like I said, the other way to deal with this, just to get a whole bunch of roaches and some infestors, dump back into that same composition that he had last game that worked so well. I feel like just going pure infestor speedling probably would have been a little bit more cost effective, but at this point he is so far ahead in the food, it looks like it's not going to matter.
Yeah, he had a good couple force fields over here up at the 3rd, did some great damage to the speedlings. I mean, I always say again, you know, I said it before earlier in the cast, that I definitely always want CheckSix to win, but right now, as a Protoss player, I feel like this is Inka's game to lose, just because he had, it was a blind counter, but it's a counter nonetheless. He had really good upgrades. He's keeping pretty close in the economic. He's got 3rd base now. He just needs to saturate. And again, I mean, Mkengyn is going pretty heavy muta versus this now +3 and 2 armor stalker unit count, so, or stalker unit composition. So I mean, this is ultimately Inka's game to lose. Food count, by the way, in this fight, 152 to 160. I don't think Inka lost a single stalker to that engagement of mutas. A couple of them got really low, but you know, this is definitely Inka's game to lose from here on out, and we're 17 minutes in.
Certainly, we do have Templar out on the field with Storm. Hive about to finish up, another hatch going down, so that will be a 5th base. 6th hatch out of Mkengyn. You know, if he is going to come back, he is going to need to be able to deal with a very scary gateway heavy composition here. Have not seen any robo units, and +3 armor on the way for our Protoss pals, but look at that creep spread. Ooh, that is a lot of purple on the map, and that is greatly going to increase the effectiveness of all of these roaches and infestors which are getting produced.
Yeah, he's gonna have to do something different here. Mkengyn's really gonna have to do something to deal with this gateway army. It's mostly, you know, I was gonna say it's mostly stalker, but there are a decent amount of zealots in there now. There are some HTs. He's got some good amount of sentries with good energy for Guardian Shield to deal with the mutas, as if he needed extra help with those now 3-2. Oh, they're still 3-2. I thought they were almost 3-3. He's got an Archon. Again, Archons, they're gonna do so much damage. He can really do some damage. And then for the roaches, I mean, if he were to switch over to some type of immortal play, even though I think he only has 1 robo still, yeah, but still can just do so much damage with these upgrades, because all the Protoss units affected by the same upgrades. I think that's what really helps Protoss when you want to do like a unit switch. Like, I think Protoss has the hardest tech pattern to swap to. Like, if you want to switch your play up, it's kind of a pain in the ass. So they get some leeway on the upgrades. Whereas like everyone else, like if you want, like if Zerg want air units, they drop 1 Spire and they can turn all their larvae into air units or something like that. And their upgrades are separate. Same thing with Terran, you know, like you can do reactor tech or tech lab swaps and stuff like that. But you know, they have different upgrades.
I hate to interrupt you, but I think we might have found the unit composition that is going to beat this Blink Stalker gateway heavy composition. I think I see, what is that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 Broodlords in production now, popping out, and Infestor Broodlord, not sure if you've heard, but it's really fucking good.
I had heard that, by the way, and it's actually kicking the shit out of these zealots right now.
It really
good feedbacks, good storm on the roaches, but you said it earlier in the last cast, that does not do shit for damage to roaches, so not so good.
And
yeah,
those
Protoss gonna run
are doing so much damage. That army gonna get cleaned up as these roaches push forward, picking off some more High Templar. And I'm not sure how you can recover from this as Protoss. It is so much harder to reinforce. And look at the food difference.
Yeah, the food difference, 198 to 113, and that's because Mkengyn just put 20 roaches into production after the encounter. So while Protoss was running away, he was like, "Oh, I'm making 20 more roaches," which basically says to me, I'm going for the kill. You know what I mean? I'm going to go for the win. Oh, good fungal growth. He got about 10 stalkers there. Here come the broodlords, slow but steady. Couple mutants. And you can't do anything. You really can't do much here because the broodlings do so much damage to the stalkers that you have to run away. And if you auto attack, if you A-click anything, you're gonna shoot broodlings, which does absolutely fucking nothing for you. So in a lot of trouble here. Food count 200 to 119. I think this is all but over.
I would certainly agree with you on that point. This roach is now pushing up into the main. Broodlings continuing to follow that stalker army. The only way he could really deal with this is if he got some really good storms off and then had amazing Blink Stalker micro, but I just think Zerk has too many units to deal with that at this point.
Yeah, too many units and just too easy for him to bring units back into the game. Like, if he were to lose anything, he's probably got so much larva stocked up. DTs, by the way, DTs doing some good damage. No Overseers. But Broodlord's doing good. Oh, but these Broodlords aren't dying. So many Stalkers just blinked in 3-3.
Fungals on the DTs to expose them. That is some Gosu play there out of Mkengyn.
Damn, and some more BM. Inka saying, "Wow, I'm playing like shit. Never should lose to your garb," short for garbage. So 2 games back to back with the BM.
Inka, maybe you should spend a little bit more time practicing, and then he can stand up to the likes of CheckSixMkengyn.
I didn't even have to say it. I didn't even have to say it. Thank you.
But, you know, we did see it, you know, despite a really good army composition there from Inka, I feel like he missed his window to push out. Increasingly, especially, you know, playing from the Zerg perspective, it almost feels like if I can get to Hive Tech, I have the game won against a Protoss opponent, and that is exactly what we saw here. Inka did not do enough damage before that Hive Tech kicked in. He was able to get that Greater Spire up, and those Broodlords morphed when the push came. Absolutely stomped it.
Yeah, like I had said, that was Inka's game to lose.
I've got more reps for you guys if you guys want on Skype.
Well, I think we're going to, or at least I'm going to jump out of this replay again. This was Gwyn and Laser casting CheckSix, and this was a clan match. This was actually ace match between Mkengyn and Inka. So a great match to watch. It'll be up on YouTube. Please follow us and follow CheckSix on Twitter and on YouTube as well.